One key part of our work is equipment, machines. And do you know what? One area that many of you also have issues with is how to maintain our equipment. It's not even about having equipment. What are the basic measures on how you can make your equipment last long? How do you maintain them? Even equipment like normal hand pump or hand sprayer, how do you maintain them? How do you ensure that the shelf life that the machine is made for, if you feel that a thermal fogger should last as much as almost 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, but some form of thermal foggers can back out within 6 months. It has to do with the mode of use. How are you using them? How are you maintaining them? You know, some people buy, you have, and it's not usually about us. Sometimes some of the guys that work with us, then we need to, that's why we bring in this model so that we can be refreshed. We can know the first aid measures in equipment maintenance. And so I'm going to be calling my dear friend, I hope he's inside, Engineer Tokunbo Mabinuori. Is he there? I hope he has not logged out. Engineer Tokunbo is an engineer, is a pest machine expert with proven track record in machine repairs and maintenance in Lagos here. He's placed at Pan Group there. He's going to be taking us briefly on the procedures of machine maintenance. Tokunbo, you can on your mic, and you know you need to on your video because we need your video so that you can show us some of those maintenance procedures. At this time, we would love everybody to put up their video so that there will be much of interaction while we have Engineer Tokunbo. Tokunbo, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good to see you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone in the house. My name is Tokunbo Mabinuori. I'm into equipment maintenance. I repair any kinds of fumigation machine. And our basic for today is how to maintain our equipment for it to be lastful for us. Because the way our machine has been produced these days, not in Nigeria, I said from Korea, even the German's machines, some are not produced very strongly like the way they had before. So that's the reason why we have to apply our wisdom, and we should apply care to it as well when we visit them. Because all these machines, we need to take them as if we are taking our brother or our younger ones, something dear to us. If we are neglecting them the way we neglect our pets, the way we kill our pets, definitely we are going to kill our machine like that as well, within just for one exercise. Machine maintenance is very, very simple. It's all about you yourself having the culture in you, how you are to use your machine, and after the use, how you are to maintain it before it goes for servicing. And one thing I will tell you people is that you can't wait for machine to pack off before you can say, okay, let me go for servicing. That's not servicing. There's a difference between servicing and repair. Anything you have to repair has been spoiled. Anything you have to service is something that is due for it. So we won't wait for when our machine or any of our equipment is spoiled before we now say, definitely we have to take it for servicing. No, that's not servicing. So don't let us miss the English up. It's a different ballgame, and it's a different thing entirely. Firstly, any day we use anything called this thermal fogger. It might be this, it might be this, it might be any type. by bill of this type, and there are some that I have that are not here. If you are using your thermal fogger, you put in your chemical in it, your solution, and every other thing in it, and you use it. No matter how you exhaust the whole tank, there will still be a leakage. There will still be a little chemical remaining in the pipe. And if this chemical in the pipe does not flush out, definitely it will cause a blockage here. Because after you stop the machine, there will be kind of a heat in the exhaust inside. There's exhaust inside it that is blowing out the smoke, that is converting the chemical to smoke. There will be a heat here. And that heat will be burning the little drop of each solution here to become carbon. And that carbon will become thick, that it will block it gradually. So my advice is, whenever you use your machine, your thermal fogger, whether mini fogger, whether this thermal fogger, you are to first of all empty. That's why this part is created here. If this part is not in your machine, definitely where you pour in your solution, you can easily pour it out carefully for this solution not to go through this side. Because if the solution go back through this side, it will definitely go into the carburetor or go back into the petrol. And once it goes back into the petrol, it can easily spoil the machine. So you have to be careful about that. The way you are pouring it out, you have to be mindful of it. You have to make sure the side goes up very well for it to come out of here when you are pouring it. So once you pour it out, you pour water in it, you rinse it, you pour it out again. You can pour water in it in the second time. You can pour water in it second time, and you try to cover it up. You cover it up and start the machine. You start the machine for the solution in the pipe to flush out. Just a little water, just to flush it out. And once it's flushed out, then you can keep it aside. You can keep it aside and pour away the remaining water in the tank. But I will still say something. If you are not a kind of a person that work regularly with your equipment, don't use water. Because water might later on rust the tank. Don't use water, but try possible best that you can to remove all the chemical in it. You remove all the chemical in it and open it to air. Open it, don't cover it. Because if you don't open it, definitely the residual and the power of the chemical will go through in and start spoiling all the holes here. To spoil it here and here, it will spoil them. That means you might have challenge at the long run there as well. So the ones here are something that you can easily open here and try to maneuver the way it turns like this to make it turns out. Do you understand? So I'll keep it aside. And anytime you notice that your machine is trying to like giving you a kind of different sign from the way it was giving you before, definitely you have to take it out for servicing. And so people normally raise a question for me that how long does a service period take? Even if it's a car, you can run a car in a day, and it will do for servicing in that very day. Depend on the long miles that you covered. So according to the machine, according to what he said about the machine before you can service it, it has a stipulated hours. It has a stipulated hours that you have to use it for before it's used for servicing. Hours is about 100 and something hours. 100 and something hours, I think so. And calculating the hours is not up to a month or so. Sorry, it's not up to a month plus. Let's say a month plus or so. I can't really remember the hours now, but it's not up to a month. In our own case here, due to our own mentality, I normally tell people and I advise people that, okay, let's make it a year, a 3-month servicing thing. Let's make it a 3-month servicing thing. So after 3 months, you run the service again. So don't let us all wait for a machine to walk down before you can say, okay, you want to go for service. That's no more service, it's a repair. And there's another machine here as well called the knapsack, which I know that we all are very, very used to. We are all very, very used to this. This is a machine that you can use with water. You can use it with kerosene. Likely you can use it with diesel. Depends on the work you want to use it for. How to maintain this machine for it to last long? If I should tell you that this machine has been with me for good more than 8 to 10 years now, no one will believe it. It's due to the way I maintained it. It's due to the way I maintained it. This is my own personal machine, and I do rent it out. Let me say, I do rent it out. Or easily try to check the inside of it. I will make sure that the water inside of it will be white, like pure, like normal water. You can see the water in it is white. It's white water. It's a normal water. So I'll make sure it's clean very well before I can cover it back. Or at times, if I should see that I'm feeling the kind of a chemical substance or chemical smell in it, I open it out for the smell to go. If possible, someone is there to smell it, you will see that it's not smelling anything of a chemical. For the chemical odor at times have effects on the rubbers or the hose of the trigger. And all these things spoils the hose with few days. In few days, it spoils the hose. So you have to be cleaning it each time used. You have to clean it, no matter how the solution you use, whether it's kerosene. Even if it is kerosene, you have to use soap, a detergent, to wash it. If it is a kerosene you use or any other thing aside water, definitely you have to use a detergent to wash it thoroughly. You can wash it about 2-3 times with your detergent for it to last long for you. But if it is something that is water-based, definitely you can use ordinary water to wash it. And once you put water in it, you rinse it, you gargle it, you pour it away. Put another water in it, you gargle it, you pour it away. The third one, you just put it in it and you try to pump it out like you are spraying. You pump it out like you are spraying. You just pump everything out. Once you pump it out like that, the whole water in it, you pump it out. The first 2 water that you wash out is just for the interior to be clean. So the last water putting in it is just to wash the hose here. This hose that is bringing out the chemical from the plunger. It's just to clean it up. So for it to be clean, so there won't be any chemical left in it. Because any chemical left in it will turn the hose to be sieve. This is the hose that came with this machine. This is the hose that came with it, and it's not sieve. It's this stuff like a normal hose. It's this stuff like a normal hose. If it is something that I don't really maintain, that means that means the hose will be very stiff, very strong. Chemical will strengthen the hose. So that is just it. That's right. That's it. So my advice for this is mostly once you are using it and it's normally clean, you won't have the problem. You won't have the problem of the trigger. Because those people that complain about this machine, they complain about this trigger because it's normally blocked out. Normally blocked out. So one message to blot out is the chemical left in it. So that's just it. And there's also something that I want to say about the mini fogger. I have a lot of people that have been calling me for the mini fogger issue about the rings and all that. I think what I used to do the ring is now available. For a while now, I hardly get the material for the ring, but now it's available. It's available now. And no matter how it is, when you are using the mini fogger as well, you have to be cleaning it, no matter how it is. Cleanliness is most important thing in all our equipment. Cleanliness is the most important thing in it. Cleanliness is the most important thing. And when you are cleaning, don't off your mask. Let your mask still be with you. Because no matter how it is, chemical is everywhere. Why is chemical? It's always be chemical. So I would like if anyone has any question, and that's what I can take for now. So maybe I can answer question from there.
Thank you, Engineer Tokunbo. Thank you for this session.
Yeah.
Brief and apt. And okay, let's quickly take question from the house. Yeah, the pest control engineer is here. All of us, we always have issue with equipment here and there. So please ask him those basic knowledge. You may not know those basic knowledge about your equipment. Let's just get like 2-3 questions quickly so that we can move to. Blood James, can you ask a question quickly?
I want to ask a question now.
Unmute yourself. James, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good afternoon, sirs.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Engineer, I appreciate the time and your education. Please, I want to ask something. This jack to the sprayer, is it called the chamber? That's aluminum, this thing.
The aluminum at the base.
Yeah.
It's called the chamber.
It has a pressure rubber inside.
Yes, a black one.
That pressure rubber, in a situation where that pressure rubber has fault, can it be replaced?
Yes, it can be replaced.
Okay. Is it something we can do on our own, or we have to take it to somebody like you that repairs?
Actually, it's something that you can do on your own. Is it?
Okay.
The way you can do it on your own is the way you lose it out. Let it be the way you have to put it back.
Yes, sir.
So don't let anything additional to be involved when you're replacing it. When you don't put anything additional in it when you're removing it. So don't let any additional thing to be in it. And the kind of machine you're talking about, is it a Jato sprayer or all these other sprayer?
No, it's Jack 2. It's Jack 2.
That means it has a 13 bolt under, one 13 bolt or two 10 bolt.
The original Jack 2, I don't know how many.
No. There is one that has one 13 bolt, and there's one that have 2 10 bolts. The one that has 2 10 bolts is the one of 16 liter, and the one that has one bolt is the one of 20 liter.
No, this one is 20 liter.
And that means it has one bolt.
Exactly the one you use for your practical. This one exactly.
Yeah. That's the 20 liter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's 20 liter. So there's a ball in it, and that ball is what controls the pressure. If that ball is not there, there won't be any pressure. It won't suck any water.
Okay, sir.
So whenever you are losing it, once you lose it out, you bring out the chamber, you bring out the plunger first, then you go to the chamber, you try to lose the 13 under. Once you lose the 13 under, you bring out the chamber. Once you bring out the chamber, then you will now use something to hit that rod. You put a bolt. You put a bolt at the base.
Okay, sir.
You put a bolt at the base of the chamber. The bolt that you lose, you put it there for you to hit the bolt inside. So the black thing will now move inside till it gets out.
Okay, sir.
You understand? So once it gets out, you can easily find something to open the top. Once you open the top, that's when you can access the ball.
Oh, okay.
Or if the ball is not there, definitely you can put the ball there and put it back. If the rubber surround the black something that I'm saying is not there, don't be worried. You can easily put it back.
Okay. You
can still put it back. What matters most is the base rubber. You won't be able to see the rubber very well, but it's a tiny rubber that is under it, and it has been with the plastic.
The rubber is somehow cream color, right?
Yes.
It always comes with spare, because this machine, I actually bought it last year. It has a spare, but I discovered that it's for it. But this machine is still working though, right? Just discovered. Yeah. Okay, no problems. I will kind of try
always try to ensure that you normally clean it very well after using.
Sure, we do that always.
Once you clean like that, don't cover it all back, because the heat of the chemical at times affects the ball we are talking of. We are complaining of now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So always open it down.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I think you see, I picked that now. When we wash, don't cover the tank back.
Don't cover it back, because there will be a heat. And that is
But back to the Badmus, can you unmute yourself and quickly ask a question? Afterwards, we're going to take Adebola and we will run.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My question is, everything you have said about it, I've tried it, but I come to know that I used a powder fumigant, but I want to control weed somewhere. So I had to get atrazine. So it's a powder fumigant, which after using it, I clean up. Then the next time to use it, I found out that there's a blockage. The powder keep coming out. Sometimes into the nozzles, everywhere. After some time again, after like a week, I cleaned it again. The powder keep coming out. But I found out that the rubber blocks. I had to change the rubber, but all the time it's still difficult to pump out. Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, thank you. We got that message. Yeah.
I'm with you. I really get your message, but I don't really get it clear. Was there something pumping in, like a kind of strange noise like that? It's like you said, you have a blockage. What is the type of the machine you are really talking of? I don't know.
The knapsack. The same knapsack.
Same knapsack that I show you.
Not this. It's the 16-liter on.
The 16-liter on.
But it's not the iron type that you are using. It's the plastic. The pump is plastic. The black plastic.
Okay, is the iron knapsack, Abi?
Is the No. The rubber one. But the pump is the black pump. Okay. Not this metal pump you have here.
Okay.
So into this, I know there is a Boris. I opened everything. There's a Boris, there is everything. I cleaned it up. Even all the whole pipe, I cleaned it up. But I still found out that no time I want to use it, there's a blockage. Even it's difficult to even pump out. Sometimes we bring the pressure, at other time we block again.
Sorry, what are you using with it? What are you using with it?
No, I used it in a customer place. Then
no. Get my message. What are you using with it? As in, what's the solution you are using? Is it a water-based solution?
Water.
Is water.
The chemical I used with it that caused this thing was a powder one, which
Wait. You are the cause of the problem. That's the reason why this platform is all about, for us to educate ourselves. There is a proper machine for a powder machine. They call it mist blower. It blows powder. You understand? You can't use knapsack. You can't use knapsack for a powder. You pour the powder in the water, right?
Yes.
It won't turn to a solution. It won't. Because the powder will cause a blockage at the long run. Even at the process, it will cause a blockage because the powder will not mix to a final solution. You understand?
I understand.
It will mix to a final solution. There is one, the mist blower I'm talking of, it looks like a motorizer.
I know it.
You pour the powder in it. It has a tank. You pour the powder in it. The powder you have to use, you pour it in it, and you carry it at your back. Then you start blowing. It will blow the powder. It will blow it out like a powder. You understand? But you can use a powder in a motorizer, in a sprayer, or you can use it in a motorizer because a motorizer has a big nozzle. But you can't use it in a sprayer. A sprayer will block because sprayer comes with nets to stop all these substances not to work. You see, there is something that you have to lose there that you've not lose, which is called the trigger. If you lose the trigger head, can you hold on for me for just 2 minutes? Let me just bring the trigger for you because I'm trying to charge my phone in the office now. Because my phone is down.
I know the trigger.
There's a head on it.
Okay.
You have to lose the head, right? Once you lose the head, check it. If the hose is not that big, if the rubber in it is big, you have to cut it. You trim it out. You trim it as run like the number of the metal in it. You put that one back, you cover it back, and you now open the nozzle. The nozzle is the mouth. The nozzle is the mouth. The nozzle is the mouth. You open the mouth as well because if the powder escapes the trigger, definitely it will go to the nozzle. Once you get to the nozzle, that's the final point he has to release out.
I have done all the cleaning of those ones. You have to lose the nozzle as well. Once you lose the nozzle, try to clean it. The nozzle is the tip of the lance. That straight iron. Yes, sir.
Lose it. Lose the tip, the head of it. Lose it. Once you lose it, try to clean it up, put it back. It will definitely spray. But don't use it with powder. If you want to force yourself to use it with powder, what I will advise you to do, put a water down in a small plastic. Pour your powder in it. Mix it as if you are mixing your ogi before you prepare it. Once you mix it very well, you now put a net on
Engineer Tokunbo, are you there?
Sir DFORTUNE, can I say something concerning this man's question?
Yes, okay.
What he used was a suspension concentrate with a manual sprayer. And we know this suspension concentrate, they have these particles. The active ingredients are kind of particles. So even when they are mixed with water, those particles will still be there because they are what emits and drop, and their effect is always retained, especially when you carry out residual spray. So these particles are always retained like a kind of residual. They have this residual effect. I had the same experience with this my jack too. Luckily, the day when we went to do the job, we took along our motorized and this jack tool manual sprayer. So when we mixed, that day we used a alpha cypernet. So when we mixed on the locust on the jack tool, The Jacto, after like 5 minutes spray, stopped. It was as if the whole thing blocked.
Yes.
And we were like, what could be the cause? What could be the cause? And that was the first time I used a suspension concentrate. So I was like, what could be the cause? What could be the cause? So we just turned the whole solution into the motorized, and it was fine. The motorized spray well, very well. I never knew that these chemicals contain particles. Not until we got home, I washed the motorized, we washed the motorized rather, clean it up. Then we kept it, I left it open for till the next day. Going to check on it the next day, I discovered I was seeing whitish particles, like dusty whitish particles. So when that was when I now said, okay, let me go and read through that container of that chemical again. And that's kind of, I got to understand that, hey, this chemical actually had particles. So the trigger of this this manual sprayer is, I believe it only accepts the fine droplet, as in this, it's only does not accept those particles, and that is why that machine had issue. You know, when this thing is agitated, these chemicals they fill in the chamber, which is like the one he's talking, that white chamber inside the machine. These chemicals, they gather there. So those emit that is coming from that machine, I believe, is what has residue, is the residue of that particle in that white chamber. I don't know if you're understanding me. Yeah, the white, this particle has kind of residue settled on the white chamber. So that is, I believe that is the reason why they're having that reoccurrence of those particles coming out. So, like what I drew, the conclusion I drew out from my own experience is that I don't have to use that all those suspension concentrate with a manual sprayer. So that is just my own idea.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, James. So that's quite insightful. Thank you so very much. I think Tokunbo was having issue with networks. I think it's been an awesome day, and that's just basics. Some of you have been asking questions about the phone numbers of the facilitator. All of you are on the WhatsApp group. The facilitators are also on the WhatsApp group. So they will be there to answer your question. We just private chat me in most cases. We can get their details available for you. Okay,